Hey guys, thanks for checking in with us. This is Leroy at Mills Realty and Greg Colucci from Devon Bank. Greg is a partner of mine, and we do a lot of deals together. So I want to introduce Greg to you guys. Some of you have known that we do a show on the radio, and so based on the distancing, spacing, we decided to just kind of do this and adhere to what's going on with this COVID-19. So today I have Greg on the line, and Greg is going to talk to us about a little bit of what he's been talking about in the real estate industry and what he's been dealing with in the mortgages. I too we'll go ahead and talk about what we have been dealing with. And I refer to Greg now and say, hey Greg, so what's been happening in your market since the fact that you have had, we're all social distancing. So what have you been dealing with when it comes to your client?
Yeah. Hi, Leroy. Thanks for, that's a great question. As far as our clients go, we have only seen a couple delays due to people not allowing anyone into their house for an appraisal. We haven't seen any closings slow down. So as far as the industry goes, for us, our refinances have been extremely high. Our purchase business has been strong on a national basis and in Illinois. For our religious lending, our faith-based lending, it's been very busy. We've seen, we've received a lot of notices from the title companies and some of the attorneys that there may be delays. But interestingly enough, and we should probably knock on wood, we have not seen a slowdown. We've seen a change in some contracts in regards to COVID, which basically is kind of another layer to like the home inspection, give them another out if they choose to cancel due to fear or illness. So that we're starting to see on a national scale, especially in California and some of the Western areas, some of those addendums in the purchase contract. But primarily for the state of Illinois, rates have been so good. People who started looking at homes, I think it's a result from the early on, from the fourth quarter of 2019 into the first quarter really of 2020, where people were searching for homes, were able to get out of their car, see the home, and not have to deal with social distancing. So I think we're closing a lot locally, nationally due to that effect. What we're looking at is how it will affect us coming up in the next couple months. After those homes have closed and the purchases have gone through, we look at it, we're 100% paperless. So we can accommodate an application with the social distancing. The individual doesn't have to leave their home. A lot of the title companies are practicing safe distances at the closings. So I think once everyone is starting to adopt a policy now of, hey, we can still accommodate these individuals and show them the house, participate in the closing in just a more distant relationship instead of everyone sitting around the table, shaking hands, exchanging gifts. So this is something that people have quickly adopted to. I think once you got off everyone got through the initial shock of the governor and the administration requiring this, people have adapted. The market projections for the remainder of the year, though, some think that nationally that there could be a slowdown as much as 40% in some markets because of people's reluctance to list their house. There's always a lot of
slowdown closing. You're talking about slowing closing now. Now your projection, or would you think your bank projection is like about 40% slowdown?
Well, that's what I read today on one of those, those little pop-up news ads on Yahoo News from economists who predict that that into the third and fourth quarter this year there'll be a slowdown nationally.
National. Okay, so nationally, you're talking about that's what they're predicting. Now, I just read on KCM that I read that we can't tell. This is like the COVID-19 when it's going to happen. When it's going to peak and when it's not going to peak, or when it's going to reach this curve. Because I've seen some other quote unquote pundits that are saying that actually next year should be a better year, because have you heard, Greg, about what they're calling now the B economy? Have you have anyone have you heard that talk about the V economy at this point?
No, no, I have not.
So, so what I've been reading about is what's called the V economy right now. The COVID-19 that gives a sudden drop in, of course, a lot of less listings that's on the market. So the sellers are the one that's making a killing right now because the market has flipped to a seller because there's not enough inventory.
Right.
What from KCM, they're saying that at sometime next year you should see a rise back into the economy. Next year, they're thinking that property value will be up by 4.3%.
Right.
So, but for right now, on a whole, less inventory in the market for about 28 to 30% inventory in the market because people have pulled back. So we're looking at hopefully getting this to a point where where real estate going to bring us back. So I'm just trying to get an idea from you. Your bank, Devon Bank, which is my partner, they're thinking a slowdown in closings. That's what they're thinking. That's what you guys are. That's what you're reading.
Right. I would say we have not seen a slowdown.
But no slowing. Okay, because I haven't seen one either. And even though it's been through the December, January, we haven't seen. People are still kind of moving along and doing what they got to do.
Right. I think people are getting used to what they call the new normal now and how
Correct.
to deal.
Yeah.
The market is very strong. Interest rates are, we've heard the term historically low for the past 10 years on and off through the decade. And even now into the new decade, they're once again historically low. So in some areas, you may have a supply and demand issue. It's the seller's market because rates are so low. But I think people are adjusting, people who are confident that their job is safe, that they're able to work from home. And it's time to capitalize on that and really get people off the fence that, interest rates may never be the low again, or they may be, another 5 years. It may trail into 2021. It's hard to tell. But I think.
So what's rates today? I mean, have you looked at rates today?
Rates today in a 30-year fixed are probably around with optimal credit.
Mm-hmm. That would be what, 700 or 640 above?
740 and above is optimal
above.
Credit, they call it. And with at least 20% down, you're at probably around 3.5% on a 30-year. Phenomenal.
30 year.
Right. 15 years, probably around 2.5.
15 is 2.5.
Right.
That's like really cheap money going around. That's like a lot. Now, Greg, I wanted to ask you, I mean, there is a lot of money. So, some people have asked me whether or not the market is going to crash or the market going to, I mean, there is a lot of money available to lend. So, I mean, as I talked to some of my coaches, we were talking about there's so much money available right now. Not only that, there's so much money available, but people are not, as in 2008, where there was really poor. They had no equity. There's a lot of equity to go around this time. So
Right.
We have a lot of equity. So we don't believe that it's going to fall to that point of 2008, 2009, and 10, where there's a lot. There was so much.
Yeah.
There's
the equity out there is in the trillions.
Yeah. I mean, I was looking at a report where J.P. Morgan Chase and the rest of J.P. Morgan and a couple of big, huge companies, they're managing like a $1.3 trillion in 1.3 for investors, and so they're still kind of comfortable and thinking that yes, our economy is not going to crash. People will lose money at this point, but their money will come back within some year. So that's the thought of some of the major, the banking industry. So in my industry, I've also seen, I've not seen the slowdown. People are still buying. What I've seen is people kind of pull back to say, hey, you know what, maybe we should hold off. But as a matter of fact, just this week, I have a couple of my people today and yesterday, like, okay, you know what, the economy is kind of coming back. So, or it's opening up, I'm going to say, opening up. So they're interested in putting their property back in the market. And we're doing that today. We got a couple of properties coming. But how do you feel about how are you handling your title company? How are they doing? How are they working with you guys when it comes to getting your title title done properly or fast or?
We have not had you know, we haven't had any slowdowns in title. So a lot of the things that we were preparing for, appraisals and title, they're at the turn time where they should be with the amount of refi volume going on. So as far as COVID-19 is concerned, we have not had closings reschedule or cancel because of the social distancing. The title companies have accommodated to that. So similar to going to Jewel or a grocery store that regulate how many people are in there. There's lines set up, 6 feet apart. The title companies adapted the same way. So there's a certain portion of the employees that are able to work from home, and to accommodate the closings, they separate everybody. So they've adapted quickly because of the onslaught of refinances. So it kind of forced everyone to deal with change, overnight. But as far as closings go on purchase deals, appraisals are still getting done. They're probably at the most a 2-week turn time. Again, like I mentioned, because of refi activity. And we have not had any closings delayed.
Delayed due to, I'm just a note that myself, I had a closing with side at the bank. I couldn't go into closing. Just for some
Right.
12-year rules, I couldn't go in. I had to stay outside. I realized, okay, they're not letting the realtors go in and be at the closing. So what I want to ask you, so you guys have an onslaught of refi. So what do you tell people that have a 4.5% or 5%? I mean, you guys want them to come in, and I mean, I know you guys have a lot of business going on because rates are so low. So how are you handling all that traffic?
You can, the loan officers are able to handle applications over the phone, or the optimal way is the person fills out the application online. That's more compliant. It generates the disclosures, and they never have to leave their living room. If they're not comfortable doing it, an application online, they can call the loan officer and they can take care of that over the phone.
How are you signing documents? Go ahead.
They can take photos of it or scan it over, fax it over, email it. So, like I mentioned, we're 100% paperless. So we're always ready to handle where social distancing is not affecting that. It really, as long as our partners are able to accommodate the same way, title companies, closers, the real estate agents, if they're viewing of the house, however they're handling that, for us, it was really no flip of the switch. We already had that in place. It's just become common practice. I know you work a lot with Gabby, and a lot of those individuals into the bank and sit there face to face, which is what
some people will do that.
Yeah, which we prefer that for our Chicagoland area around our branches, but we're able to accommodate it. And like I said, they can, even if they don't have a fax machine or a scanner, they can take photos of the documents that we need and email those over to, or upload them to a secure portal.
All right, so you guys are doing everything on the web.
Right.
Thing, not only that, but you're doing the e-sign and everything else. So we're kind of doing the sort of the same thing. We're based on our side of the thing. We're actually going out and looking at property for folks, and we're going out and doing sometimes we FaceTime our clients.
Right.
We want to see in lifetime. So especially if the property is vacant, we FaceTime them. We go out and we say, hey, this is what it looks like. And actually we've did some stuff yesterday where we went out and FaceTime, and the client loves the property, and they don't have to be there. So we're also telling folks, you don't have to be there. We will do that for you. I mean, just to kind of keep the social distancing,
Sure.
We adhere to that particular, adhere to that. We want to go ahead and so we've been doing that also. So we haven't seen a slowdown. We want to keep rolling. I mean, myself, Mills Realty, and Devon Bank, we work closer together. So we want you guys,
Yep.
to log on to our site. Where are you at? You have devonbank.com.
Yes. Devon.com is the best way to get a hold of us.
Best way to get a hold of us. Get your phone number there, Greg, for them to get a hold of you.
They can give me a call at 773-423-2337.
All right. So what we want to do is I just wanted to bring Greg on to let you guys know, and I always tell folks I work with a community bank because the community bank is, for me, it's easier, it's advantageous. You have access to people. You're not a big bank in some part of the country where you don't know exactly where that person is. You want to, if you want to come in and talk to that person, if, you know, some people, you know, Greg, feel comfortable. They don't want to talk to you unless they see who you are.
Right, right.
And that's important, you know.
Right,
And
Zoom become a big thing. We should
they
all
do
about.
have that people, you know. And I have some of my clients are like, who are they? You know, and they want to say, hey, Greg, how you doing? Yeah, now I know who I'm talking to, who I'm giving my documents to. So
Well,
it's
they want
important.
the eyes to make sure you're not spinning on tail. But you know, I think we definitely love working with you, and we're a community bank. We believe in the community, and you know, not only do we want to provide home financing, we also have portfolio lending. We look at that case by case if something doesn't meet the guidelines of the secondary market, Fannie Mae and Freddie Mac. But all of our deposit products, savings products, and our trust department. So we, you know, we want to be more than just a transaction. We want to be a relationship for life.
And one of the things that I want to say about Devon, man, you guys speak 33 languages? Yeah,
33 languages, yes.
33. So no matter what language you speak, I mean 30 is a lot of language. So it's really a community bank. So they have people from all over the country.
Yes.
Actually, you know, no matter what you do, they'll more than likely they'll have someone to speak your language.
Oh, we'll figure it out. Absolutely.
All right, Greg, man. I just want to. Is there anything else you want to say?
No, just, you know, everyone stay safe, and, you know, give me a call or go to our website. We're available all the time for questions, concerns, and we'll definitely guide you. If you're a first-time home buyer, we've got some great programs. We've worked with Leroy and many of his clients on those first-time home buyer programs. And, you know, let's help you achieve the American dream and get that little piece of real estate and a place to hang your hat and call home.
All right, well, I want to thank Greg from Devon Bank. Of course, this is Leroy at Mills Realty. Just go ahead and check in for us, and there'll be more videos. Please subscribe to the video and like us on YouTube. And thank you guys for checking in, Greg. Thank you. And we'll do more. If you have any updates, Greg, I'd love to have you again. If there's anything you want to say another time, the other time. By the way, also, Greg, before we leave, I wanted folks to know for some of the people that are doing small business, you guys do the SBA loan also. So they
yes,
reach out to you or reach out to the bank, and you know, Devon Bank is also a business bank, so they will take care of you when it comes to.
absolutely. They go to the website, devonbank.com. They can find the portal and go through and find make the request to commercial lending, and they will work with you for the PPP program through the SBA.
All right, so I want to thank Greg again for coming on, and Greg, we'll talk to you soon. And like I said, like us on Facebook and YouTube, and please subscribe to get more and more videos.